Hello, I'm Randy Buehler here with Brian David Marshall.
Hey everybody.
The way we're going to do this is we're going to watch one semifinal game first, and then after that's over, we'll bring the other semifinals on camera. So we get a chance to watch both the matches, and then watch the finals after that, obviously. These are still best 1 out of 1s, the way this format works, best 1 out of 1. So first up will be, are we still supposed to call them the Sliver Kids? There's this raging debate on the message board forums. So, deck lists. Whether what to call these guys. 21 and 22, not exactly kids, but...
But you mentioned that Steve McQueen was the Cincinnati Kid. I'm sure he was pushing 40 at that point.
That's my theory. Yeah, this Japanese deck list, another one, it just feels like it's cards. Right. I mean, I'm hesitant to criticize these decks because, I mean, these guys are clearly good. They're playing in the top 4.
Well, sorry, it's not necessarily criticism, but like in the context of what you have to face in terms of what we've seen as a very efficient strategy for Van Lunen and Lachmann, you know, these decks seem, you know, a step behind.
Meanwhile, we've been talking about Lachmann and Van Lunen drafting the Sliver strategy all weekend. They're also the Cinderellas. They're the only 2 guys in this top 4 who have never played on the Pro Tour before. Pro Tour debut for each of them. Japanese have won the toss and decided to play, is the update I'm hearing?
I'm looking at Van Lunen's hand, and let me ask you a question when it comes to his mulligan decision.
Okay.
He's got 2 Virulent Slivers in his hand.
Ooh, does he have a forest?
He's got a forest in his hand. He's got a two-headed sliver in his hand.
You keep that.
But he does not have a second land.
He's got double Virulent?
He's got double Virulent.
Keep it.
Do you think he's going to keep this? You're certain he's going to keep this?
I'm certain I would keep it. They've kept. I like it. All right, these guys are going to sit down, and we're going to roll the cameras. Looks like we're just about done with this pregame. We're ready to go with the semifinals of Pro Tour San Diego. For Brian David Marshall, this is Randy Buehler. I hope you've enjoyed the pregame. We'll be right back with the semifinal action.
Serving up some poison.
Hello and welcome to the Pro Tour San Diego semifinals. I'm Randy Buehler. I'm here with Brian David Marshall, and we are getting ready to watch the match between the 2-headed giant combination of Lachmann and Van Lunen from the United States versus the 2-headed giant of Kaneko and Taru from Japan. Lachmann and Van Lunen have made a very interesting decision here. They decided to keep a hand that has just 1 forest in it. But they did that because there's 2 copies of Virulent Sliver.
There's a Death Spore Salad from Genki.
Okay. Oh, Piracy Charm to take out the Death Spore Salad. Unbelievable. Okay. Virulent Sliver comes in for 2 poison counters. Yeah, Pallid Germinator.
Drop a Pallid Germinator. He's got Thaumaturgist.
They've got Softfield Recluse to combo with that guy and potentially set up a... This seems, yeah, there's the Shadow Sliver. You can hear the reaction from the Japanese players.
Take 4 more poison counters.
You're right, and Spinneret Sliver is going to hit the board too for Van Lunen.
And this is what these guys have been doing the whole tournament. Here comes a Pallid Mycoderm, which is...
Really?
Sure, because it was over on turn 4. Queue up the other table.
A 3rd Virulent Sliver just came down. Unbelievable. There's Overnight. Here's Momentary Blink. That's a ball game. 4 turns. Unbelievable. 4 turns and 15 poison counters. Welcome to the finals.
And listen to that round of applause from the gallery.
Goodness. Wow, a standing ovation from the gallery. Applause right and left. Hello. We're back. What are you going to do about it? I mean, you just lose to that. It's unbelievable.
I have never seen this kind of atmosphere. I'm fairly certain before Eugene Harvey keeled over to his poison in round 3 that no one had ever lost the poison on
in the history of the Pro Tour. I believe that there have probably been about 5 deaths to poison in the history of the Pro Tour now. All of them delivered by these guys.
They play tested with some of the Jersey guys. They actually prepared against Fiorillo and Harvey.
I heard this story.
And they poisoned them in a playtest game before this event.
And
Fiorillo was apparently incensed.
He was mad. He was like, this is not going to happen at the Pro Tour. I don't want to practice with you anymore. Go away.
And that happened.
This is never going to happen at the Pro Tour.
And then it happened on turn 3 or turn 4 of round 3. And then it happened again in the semifinals here. This is just unbelievable.
Wow. Looks like we're ready for semifinal number 2 for Brian David Marshall. This is Randy Buehler. We will be right back. Sorry, I'm listening. Okay. Well, we'll see how things wind up here. Boy, this game off to a somewhat slower start.
I don't know how to recalibrate.
I mean, by this point, there were 4 points encounters and a Shadow Sliver looming last
and a standing ovation. I'm seeing stuff like Lost Hours. I'm looking at a Haunting Him looming turns from now.
Early Script Ranger got disposed of by a Flowstone Embrace. And Augur of Skulls comes down.
So we have an Urborg Siphon Mage versus Augur of Skulls. Oh, Fiorillo just missed his 3rd land drop, and looks like he missed his 4th land drop also. So he's stuck on 2 land here. Augur of Skulls is going to take 2 cards away from Eugene Harvey. Get rid of the Brute Force and the Boom Bust. He kept a Mountain and a Viscid Lamar, which he can play next turn.
Sure.
Start Swamp Walking. Comes Thick Skin Gobble.
Habu Primarch and Ghost Ship.
It's an unkicked Primarch, obviously. And they just activated it, gained 4 life, and took 4 life from Yamamoto and Takahashi. So it's a 6 huge life swing. Yep, discarded the mountain. Japanese players are just massing their army. Savage Salad is a morph.
Suspend Ephemeron. John Fiorillo has an impact on the game, finally, 4 turns from now.
I think they have to.
Whoa. Verdant Embrace. Crunch. How much damage is that?
It's +3/+3, so that's an 8/5. That's a 3/3. That's a 2/2. That's a 2/2.
What choice do we have?
11. That's 15 points coming in.
Yeah, you see Fiorillo saying, what choice do we have? Oh, it was a Slipstream Serpent. I'm not sure I can add this high. Is that like 16? No, 19 damage. 19 damage on that attack, and suddenly Harvey and Fiorillo are down to 10.
Spitting out a couple tokens a turn here.
Too bad to see that. 2 lands, and Fiorillo has just been forced to discard. He's had basically no impact on this game at all.
So he took...
And a pretty good draw from
did he take a free mulligan?
Yamamoto and Takahashi.
Do we know if he took a free mulligan?
So there was... Yes, he did. He took a free mulligan.
But he did not... He didn't want to
He did not go to 6. Well, he had 2 lands.
Right.
I mean, you keep 7 cards with 2 lands, 5 spells. Tends to be...
There's the handshake.
Wow. Yamamoto and Takahashi get to take on the Sliver Kids. Mana Stumble out of the gates for John Fiorillo, and Yamamoto and Takahashi win the best 1-out-of-1 match. Whew.